Hello. Hey you. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing amazing. I'm doing well. The sun is shining. My plants are thriving. And I mean, what more could a plant parent ask for, right? Am I right? I think I'm right. Okay, so today we're gonna do a video that I haven't done in a while. Kind of excited to do one. I always want to continue to do these, but I always forget. Today we are going to take a look at my top 5 plants of November 2022. Things change so frequently within plant collections, and I don't know about you guys, but my tastes are always evolving. One day this plant will be like, bow, and I'll be like, wow, and it'll be great, and I'll be like, dang. And then the next day or the next week, it'll be like something different that catches my eye, and I'm just like, you go, girl. You're rocking. You're killing it. Anyways, so today we're going to take a look at 5 plants from November that have really like caught my eye and really like been doing the most. So I hope that's something that you're interested in watching. If you are, please go ahead and continue watching. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate it greatly. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the like button, share it if you think, you know, other people might enjoy watching this as well. If you see a plant that you're like, dang, you can send it to like your significant other or your friend or something and be like, hey, Nikki's got this cool plant if you happen to see one, because it's Christmas. I'm just kidding. Buying plants for people is kind of scary. Anyways, I digress. If you're new here, my name is Nikki. Hi, hello, welcome. This is my channel, Plants, Pots, and Whatnots. And for my GFPs, my lovely, wonderful gluttons for punishment who keep coming back for more, thank you guys so much. It is amazing to see you, and thank you for your amazing ongoing support as always. Okay, we're gonna try to keep this short, so let's go ahead and jump into my top 5 favorite plants of, am I doing the robot? I'm sorry. We're gonna jump into my top 5 favorite plants of November. That's my, roll it. Stop it, Nikki. Okay, the first plant that I want to show you is one that I've got recently. So you've actually seen this plant recently, but it's really like checking all the boxes for me right now, and I'm a little bit obsessed. And it just put out a new leaf, so like, I gotta show you. Okay, so this, hold on, let me just, okay, so this plant is the Philodendron Summer Glory. It's freaking stunning. Stunning. So this is, if you haven't seen one of my previous videos, or if you haven't seen one of these before, it is a cross between a Philodendron gloriosum, so here is what a gloriosum looks like, and a Philodendron Macaulay's red hybrid. So it's not a Macaulay's finale from what I understand. I've done a lot of reading to try to figure this out, but it's a fairly new hybrid. So it's kind of hard to dig up information on it. But what I understand, it's a Macaulay's red hybrid. Who cares? It's beautiful. So this is the newest leaf that it has just put out. Let's see if I can get it to focus there. It is so beautiful. I'm hoping that the camera's doing it justice at all. It is this beautiful, like caramel color, like bronzy, I don't even know. It is so stinking pretty. The sheen on the leaves of this plant are just absolutely beautiful. So here is the previous leaf here. And it's probably difficult to tell on camera, but as I explained in my last video, the texture is unlike any other plant in my collection. So it's not velvety like the gloriosum. It's not super like rubbery, I guess, like the Macaulay would be. It's almost like a soft leather. It's incredible. And I wish you could have like touch-o vision. So, what You know what I mean, right? Like, I wish you could feel what I'm feeling. Like, I don't want to touch this new one too much, but this plant has just, it's just rocked my world recently. So I really had to share it with you again, especially because of this new beautiful leaf. And I'm really hoping that this is enough light. You know what? Let me turn on this light and see if that helps at all. I don't think that helped. That didn't help at all. It made it darker. How's that possible? Anyway, I'll have to fiddle with the light a little bit before the next plant, but you get the general idea. Like, look at it. Oh, so pretty. I hope it's focusing. I think it is. Honestly, the camera doesn't do this plant justice at all. You really, really need to see that in person. Let's see if I can get it in the light. No, it just blows it out. Anyway, if you happen to run across one of these and you're a fan of philodendrons, you're a fan, because who isn't, of philodendron hybrids, this is a must-have, in my personal opinion, in your plant collection, because it's just, it's got everything that you could want in a philodendron. You know what I mean? Oh, it's so stinking pretty. Now, the one thing that I will say, and I mentioned this in my last video, because as far as I can tell, this plant is a crawler. But somebody had mentioned, and I did read it in one article, that said it was an upright, so it grew similarly to the Macaulay's finale. So they kind of come out of the middle, and it's kind of got like a Prince of Orange, Macaulay's finale sort of growth pattern. But I don't know. I mean, the jury's still out on that one. It looks to me, the way it's crawling, let me see if I can get it up and show you. Can you see that? So the new leaf is right here. I'll try to get you from a few different angles. Do you see what I mean? So, I guess the jury is still out on that, but we'll know. We'll know with the next leaf, actually. Depending on where the next leaf comes out, it might actually be, I don't know. I don't know, but who cares? It's beautiful and I love it, and I'll get over it and move on. So this is the Philodendron Summer Glory, and I love her. Let's go on to plant number 2. Okay, the next plant that I want to show you is just one that I'm really proud of. This is a plant that I propagated from one of my original mother plants, and it has just done so well and it looks so good. It's still kind of tiny, but it looks so beautiful that I had to share it with you guys. So this is, let me see if I can get it all in the shot. So this is one of my own propagations. So this is the very first albo propagation that I've done. I'm so sorry. This is a Monstera albo. So it is the white variegated Monstera. This one, okay, so this is its most recent leaf right here, and it's a little bit white, so that's a little bit scary, especially when you're dealing with variegated plants. We want to have that white, but not quite that white. So I'm a little worried that that the next one's going to be like that, but there's still a lot of green, but not in that petiole. So we'll see how it goes. But it's so pretty, I couldn't not share it with you guys. I'll show you some of the leaves here. There's one. There's one. Is it focusing? Look, isn't that cute? And then of course that new one, the cute little green speck there at the top. Anyway, it's just one that I'm really proud of because I raised her all by myself, like a proud plant mama. Anyway, so I'll have to keep a really close eye on this one because, like I said, of that white leaf, I'm really hoping that we do get some more green growth in here. But actually, if you look at the stem, or the petiole, sorry, not the stem. So this one right here, it's quite white. Try to get you around the other side. If it's gonna show up, yeah. So whatever, it is what it is. What I found with when you get really white leaves like this is they're gonna grow more slowly because there's not as much chlorophyll to like sustain like quick plant growth. The other thing I've found too is that even though there's a lot of white on this plant, like this is one of the oldest leaves, but the white has maintained. So what I've found is that if you give them high enough light and you keep up with your watering, so you're watering on a regular basis, this white will actually sustain itself for a substantial amount of time. They're not gonna die off on you, they're not gonna brown. I do have a little bit of browning on this leaf right here. That was actually caused by excess moisture sitting on the leaf for too long. But it is what it is. Actually, that one might be a light because I had it on my little, that might be actually light. But anyway, it looks great. It's doing well. And I grew it all by myself. So I'm proud of it. So that is plant number 2. That is my Monstera albo that I propagated all on my own. There she is. She's pretty. Okay, let's go ahead and I'll show you plant number 3. Yeah, plant number 3. Okay, the next plant that I want to show you that has really just been, I don't even know. This plant, so I have no words for this plant. It has been an amazing plant to grow. I think I've talked about it before on my channel, and it's just stunning. So I'm gonna try to fit it in the frame. It is quite large. I might have to adjust here a little. I'm just gonna, if you could just step back a little. Just step back a little. Hopefully we got enough light. Now I've gone and messed everything up. Oh my gosh. Hold on. You see still. Okay. This way. Oh my God. I'm having a rough go here. Okay, so this guy, let me see if I can back it up. You can kind of see it. I'll insert if it's really bad because you can't see me like at all. I'm all like super dark. Anyway, so this is my Epipremnum pinnatum albo. And she has been one of the most rewarding plants that I've grown. This plant is one that's super, super low maintenance. All she requires is a pole and some water. It grows extremely quickly. It sizes up super quickly, and it's just an absolute stunner. It has fenestrations, it has holes. It's just so pretty. It's so pretty. So I'll try to rearrange here so I can get you in for, oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna not drop it. That's the goal. So we'll get you in to look at some of these leaves here. Look at that. She's a beautiful plant. This up here is her newest leaf. If you can see, this is really difficult. So difficult. Oh my God. Okay, here's another one. Like, it's just a beautiful plant. And so this one's still soft. And the other thing that I'll point out for this guy, oh my God, this is too big. And it's heavy. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm trying to prop it up. It's difficult. Okay, so this leaf is an older leaf. Let's see if I can, you see how it's quite white? So it's very albo-y. The newest leaf, I'll come down here. Oh, the newest leaf right here, it's got more of a cream look to it. So what I've found with this one is they come out this beautiful cream color. But as the leaf matures, and it takes a little while actually, I would probably say at least a month, and then it will kind of harden off to this more white. Let's see if I can kind of get you a contrast there. You see what I'm saying? I hope you can see that. Anyway, beautiful, stunning plant, very, very rewarding. Once this plant took hold and took root and started growing, it doesn't stop. The other cool thing about it, this plant really, really likes a pole. And this is one of those plants that does not care if the pole is wet. It wants to grab onto things. Obviously, if it was wet, it would probably, it would probably help, I guess, but it's not necessary. So I'll show you, I'll try to show you. I'll have to zoom in, I think, probably. But look at, it just wraps itself. Can you see any of that around the pole? Isn't that cool? So it just wants to climb. Oh, this plant has struggled with mealybugs, like everything in my collection did at one point. And it's really dusty on the top of the moss pole. I think we have gotten rid of all of the mealies. I don't see anything going on. And they usually like the newer leaves. So that's kind of where I focus. And knowing that this one, sorry about that, knowing that this one has struggled with mealies in the past, it's one of those ones that every time I water it, I just give it a good spray with my, like my pesticide that I use. And, you know, it's kept them at bay. You're never going to completely eradicate every pest forever. Inevitably, there'll be one that's hiding in a petiole or a sheath or something, or in the moss pole itself or whatever. But it's just about like maintenance, and I think I've said that before, just kind of keeping up with it. But anyway, I digress. Nothing to do with this plant. Well, sort of. Okay, so that is plant number 3. That is my Epipremnum pinnatum albo, and she's a beauty. Okay, the next plant is one that if you have been with me for a while, you will know that I got this plant, I think I got it when I hit 1,000 subscribers, and we're at, what, 12,000, almost 300, I think. So it was a while ago, 3 years, maybe? I can't even remember. We're gonna go with 3 years. Anyway, and if you've been around, you know that I have struggled with this plant literally forever. It's been one of those plants that is really a test of patience and stubbornness. And this plant has actually just taught me a lot about plant care in general, and, you know, trying new things. If one thing doesn't work, try something else, try something else, try something else. And I think, I don't even want to jinx it at this point, but I think we might be to a point, oh God, where it might have worked. I don't even want to say that. I'm just going to jinx. Okay, I'm just going to show you what the plant is. A lot of you probably are sitting there going, I know exactly what plant it is. If you do know what that plant is, I'll give you a second. Go type it down in the comment section. It's a plant that I have constantly mentioned has caused me strife, and I have a feeling that a lot of you know what's coming. Okay. You good? Have you typed it? Okay. It is my variegated philodendron billeti. And yes, I still call it a billeti. I am not French. I can't say billettier and make it sound good. So, you know, just like with what are all those words that, you know, in English sound absolutely awful, but you say them in English because what's the one that Jordan always gets mad at? Oh, so you know those words like bruschetta? Well, it's not actually bruschetta, right? It's bruschetta. But like English people can't just go around saying bruschetta because it sounds ridiculous. And I know this is a name, So I guess it does make it a little different, but I feel like I can't do it justice. And you guys know what I'm saying when I say billet. So I'm just going to call it that. Don't come for me. Okay. Or do. I'm down with that too. Okay. So if you don't know the struggles with this plant, I have cut it numerous times because I have struggled to maintain variegation. When it came to me, it had one green leaf, one variegated leaf, continued to put out green leaves. I chopped it. Then we went in an entirely separate direction and it started putting out all yellow leaves. Now, not yellow like dead, yellow like variegation. So I cut it again. And I think I've cut it, if I cut it 3 times, I can't even remember now. But the last time I cut it, I think we triggered something. I'm so nervous in saying that. And I know I'm making a really overly big deal about this, but I think what you have to understand is, number one, this was my #1 wish list plant. This was the plant that Jordan gifted me when I hit 1,000 subscribers, when I never thought even 10 people would watch my videos. So it really is a special plant to me. Not only that, but they're not cheap, especially now. When I got these, I think I paid about $500 for this, and it was 2 reasonably sizable leaves. They were, you know, this is the most recent leaf, and it was bigger than that. They were good size. So if this tells you how long of a struggle it's been, like these are the size of the leaves now, right? Anyway, it just means a lot to me. So I guess that's why I kind of go on about it. So I apologize for the rambling about my billet. Okay. So I cut it again and I'll show you all of the leaves in chronological order if I can remember. So that is one. It's beautiful. So when this leaf came out after I chopped it, I was like, okay, you go, girl. Actually, this was the first leaf. Isn't it cute? And then it's hard to see. Okay, I think this was one of the leaves that had on it originally, where I chopped it back to the variegation. Very, very pretty. And then I think it put out an all yellow leaf, which ended up getting a little brown and crispy, so I just cut it off. And then it put out this one. Hopefully you can see that. Hold on. There you are. It's so pretty. This one has a little bit more green variegation, and I think that was because when it was hardening off, I didn't have the light as high, so it was a little bit more shaded. That's my guess anyway. I'm just totally taking a shot in the dark here. And then, okay, so we've gone through, oh, and then this one, which, can I tell you, stressed me out because I was like, oh no, here we go again. Like, how many times do I have to cut this plant before I get the plant that I want? So word to the wise, if you're going to buy a variegated plant, especially this one, and I think this might be one of the reasons why the value is still quite high, is because it's extremely unstable in my experience. So after I put out that all green one, this leaf started opening and I was like, no, here we go again. So I'll show you from the bottom. We started from the bottom, now we're here. Okay, so I know that there's just a smidgen of variegation there, but it's something. So I think this is probably the most leaves that I've had on this plant since I've owned it. It's so sad to say. But it's doing really well. This plant grows so quickly. So I have this currently in my Millsbow cabinet, not my living wall one, but the other one. And it's probably maybe 6 inches from one of my Barina grow lights. It really likes that highlight and it's just spitting leaves out one after another, which is amazing because then you don't have to wait as long to see if it's going to actually put variegation out. So this one came out maybe 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks. within a month anyways. And it's got this new one growing here already. Now, what scares me looking at this right now is that it looks quite yellow. Like, if we can just have a happy medium, like, I don't ask for much, you know? Anyways, so I'll keep you guys updated. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Here it is. That's where I kind of put more of those little updates and things like that. And this has been one that I know a lot of people have kind of been following along on my journey with, because it's been a ride, you know? Okay, it's long enough on one plant, I guess. But anyway, it's so pretty. I just had to share her. She's so gorgeous. Look at it. Ah! Okay, so pray for me. Pray for my billetier. Come on, Nicki. Who are you kidding? And we'll pray together that she's going to continue to put out the beautiful variegation that she has the ability to do. It's just stubborn like me and won't. Okay, let's move on to the last plant, plant number 5. Okay, this was going to be my last plant, but I just remembered one that I really want to show you that has just excited me lately. And so this is the 5th plant, but I'm going to include a bonus plant after this. So make sure you stick around for that one because it's quite exciting. At least I think so. Okay, so this next plant is one that I'm really proud of, okay, let me tell you a little hypothetical story. Let's say you import a plant. You import this plant because it's one that you've really wanted for a long time. And it's usually quite expensive, at least at the time when you bought it. And you import this plant and you're so excited. And then you get the plant. The leaves look okay, but the roots look like absolute garbage. So you're like, I got this. I got this. So you try to root it, you recuperate it, or you at least try to, and then things start going south. Like, I'm talking fast. Like, we got roots rotting, the minimal roots that it had left. We've got browning, we've got mushing, and you go into severe panic mode because you're like, this is a plant that I've wanted forever. And I finally got it. I paid a decent amount for it. Decent as in, like, not, you know, crazy price for what they go for. And so you're like, I got to do something to save this. So you chop it into nodes, and then one by one, the nodes start to die. And you're like, no. But then there's that one node that just has the will to live. That one node. And it is that one node that saved this plant. Pretty excited. Okay, so let me show you what it is, because you're like, just show us, Nicki. Okay, this is, you know, I really wish the lighting was better in here. I could move, but you know, I'm too lazy. This is my Philodendron Patriciae, and I have wanted this plant for the longest time. It is beautiful. It is strappy. The color is beautiful. So let me get in here. So this is the newest leaf. So this one just is hardening off. It's still quite soft. Isn't it beautiful? The Patriciae has this beautiful texture. So I don't know if you can see. You might be able to see it better on this one, hopefully. So the texture of the leaves kind of come out and down from the vein. I'm not sure if I'm explaining this correctly, and it might be really hard to show you on camera. Anyway, and I just love the look. I just love the look of this plant. Here's what they look like when they get more mature. And I can't, sorry, it's literally dripping down my leg. I've got, so if you hadn't picked up on it, that hypothetical situation was my reality. But this is the surviving plant. So that was the original leaf there. And then I think it put out this one. So I was pretty excited. And then it put out this one here. Very, very pretty. I love how light the vein is and how dark the leaf is. And then obviously it put this one out after. It is also quite a fast grower. I've actually been quite impressed. Yeah, I think I said that right. So once it actually started growing, it really took off, and it's been putting out leaves quite regularly. I would say probably one a month. And it's in the same spot. It's actually on the same shelf as my billieti. And she's got some nice roots in there. Hopefully you can see those. Maybe, yep. And currently she's just in moss. I want to get her to build up a bit more of a root system before I transfer her into soil. Anyway, these leaves get super long and strappy, and they just are stunning. So eventually what I'd like to do is have all of my strappy leafed plants growing like on a wall and just like hanging down, because I think that would be just so cool. It would look so nice. So anyways, I digress. I'm going to go ahead and show you the last plant, but that is my philodendron patriciae. Oh, she's just so freaking pretty. Woo. Okay, I'll stop now. All right, let me go get the last and bonus plant. Okay, my last and bonus plant is this beauty. So this is my Anthurium vitarifolium, and I got this plant when it was quite small. Let me see if I can get it. I can't even fit her all in the frame. And this is one that, it was another one of those plants that I just kind of had coveted for a long time. There's a lot of different strapped leaf anthuriums, but this was one that I just found a little nicer than the rest. And I just like the look of the leaves. They have this really beautiful, like almost like a shift. Like if you're familiar with like eyeshadows, when you shift it or tilt it or look at it from different angles, it has like a shimmer, like a colored, I don't even know how to explain it. Let me see if I can get you in close and maybe you can see what I mean. I'll try to show you on which leaf. I don't know if you can see it on this one. So this is the second oldest or second newest leaf, and I don't know if it's going to come across. Let's see. Can you see? It's still focusing like, oh, sorry guys. I'm hoping you can tell. Anyway, it's a beautiful, it's really heavy too. She got some roots in here. Anyway, so it has just done wonderfully. So I currently have this plant on this, I'll insert a clip here so you can see where it is, but it's on this pot rack that the people who lived here before had, and I couldn't put pots on this thing because it's too low and I would bang my head on it, but I was like, that's a perfect spot for plants. It's right underneath the light, and I'm just going to use it as a plant shelf. And I'm so glad I did. And this is one of the ones that I chose to put on there because I just love how it drapes. So this is the newest leaf. No, wait. It's really long. I'll try to get a photo of like the whole plant and put it in here so you can see. But it's just so pretty. So the light source is actually coming from like probably right about here. You can't even see that from this angle anyway. And it has been thriving since it's been up there, and it's fairly close to the light, but it seems to really be loving it. I've had just new growth after new growth. You can see we have a little inflow right here, a little inflorescence. Typically I cut those off, but we've got, oh, we got a new leaf coming. You can see her in there. So that'll be exciting because this leaf is probably 3 feet long, I would say. Yeah, about 3 feet. So can't wait to see what the new one looks like. Anyway, so that is the bonus plant. I don't really have too much more to say about that, but so if you enjoy strappy anthuriums or strappy plants, this is definitely a great one. The leaves are very soft and beautiful looking, and it's extremely rewarding, especially when you get these like 3-foot long leaves. And they're just a really beautiful plant all together. So that's my last and bonus plant. Okay, so that is the end of the video. It was actually quite a bit longer than I anticipated. I'll try to see if I can do these a little more frequently, like hopefully once a month, maybe every 2 months. I'm kind of over the point where I promise to upload once a week. Just my life is quite busy, so I don't always get a chance to, and I don't want to guilt myself into filming a video because I think that's going to come across if I'm not genuine, and I don't want to do that. I want the videos to be genuine. I want you to see my excitement because I really do get excited about plants. But if I make it something that I have to do all the time, or if I make myself feel guilty about not uploading on a certain day, then it's going to come across, and I don't want that. I want you to feel my excitement with me. And I think probably that came out a little bit today because I am really excited about the plants that I did show you. So go down below, let me know which one of these plants are your favorite. Let me know also if you have any of these plants, what your experience has been with them. And I'd also really like to know which plants you have at home right now that are just doing the most and really grabbing like all of the attention. So let me know. Thank you guys so much for liking and watching and commenting and subscribing. If you're not subscribed already, please consider doing so. It is a huge help for my channel and I really do appreciate it. It's really nice to see all of the people who have stuck around and all the people who have subscribed even though I was on a hiatus. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for believing in me and continuing to watch my videos. And for those of you who are actually still here and watching me ramble, you guys are the real heroes. I'm telling you. I see you. I see you. Well, I don't actually see you, but I see you. Okay, so that I can see you, go ahead and put a green heart emoji down in the comments so I can actually see who you are. Okay, let's move along, Nikki. Okay. So, again, I hope you have an amazing and wonderful day, night, week, month, and year. I love you all to bitty bits, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah.